Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to focus on critical thinking. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I know sometimes a good question here or a comment there can get you to think about things a little differently. I think over the last 10 years, it's obvious that we've been lied to some, and there's definitely mistrust going on. We don't even know who to trust in our own neighborhoods now. People have disagreements all the time, and it's a little sad to see, but at the same time, I think the right questions and an open mind will help us dig a little bit deeper and maybe come through this winter time that we're going through as a country in America into a brighter future if we're able to have these conversations, especially with AI coming around the corner and not knowing what's real. This is the time that we come back together as a country and start having these conversations. So we're going to focus on three main areas. Three main areas we're going to focus on this week are health, finances, and life. And I'll bring up some examples. I'll jump into one of them right now. It's going to be health, and just going to walk you through a couple things, current events that have been going on. So hopefully it gets you to think a little bit. Maybe you'll tune in. And if you find any value in any of these videos, please like and subscribe. It always helps out. Keeps me going as a early YouTuber. So let's jump right in. Don't leave. This goes for all three categories, but do not leave your health up to somebody else. And by the way, tragedies happen. If you knew my brother, I totally get that life happens, and sometimes you don't have control over that. In other situations, if you think the news is there to inform you, sometimes you're right. But the only way they get eyeballs is statistically proven is through fear, excitement, get you all riled up. And that's their move. And it goes down to health as well. There might be real things that happen. No doubt. I believe that. But to get amplified, and if you don't understand your current level of handling of stress, it can actually make you sicker. It's not going to make you better by watching that. You'd almost be better off not informed. I'll give you an example of current events. Everyone knows about the Canada fires that are affecting all the northern states in America. And it's funny because I went around work just to get people to think. It's a little bit silly, I know. So let me walk through it. Everyone should know, in the event of a house fire, what you need to do is to get out, you need to get low to the ground and crawl your way out of the house, right? You get below the smoke and go out. And as a question, just to get people to think at work, I went around just asking them, if that's the situation and you think about the bigness of the earth and where we're from, way below down on the atmosphere, when the smoke's coming in from miles and miles away, yeah, you can always smell smoke. If you see a little campfire, you can smell smoke coming, but that doesn't mean you're just inhaling all that smoke coming out of it. You're at a distance. Well, who's to say with all these markers, with all the air quality testers, what is the real levels of your current state? The morning that it was really bad here in Minneapolis, I went out for a run. I didn't even know the fires are happening. I didn't check the news. It smelled a little smoky, so I thought maybe the Canada fires are back. But 3 miles in, totally fine, no coughing. Went to work that day, no headaches. And not to prove anything about myself, I know people have respiratory issues and stuff like that. But the point is ignorance sometimes is bliss and isn't bliss. You can go back and forth on that. The example I was giving out to people, I could see them actually thinking instead of just following what every single news channel have on, which is just, this is a tragedy, Canada fires, and what do we do? The truth is, how bad really is it for you? Check yourself, listen to your body, talk to people maybe in the area, see if everyone's doing okay and how people are handling it, and then make your own decisions. Critical thinking. At the end of the day, we don't want to be the ones leaving these decisions up to somebody else. Gather the information and take it in to get your own decisions. A lot of times these decisions are lonely decisions to keep to yourself. You can't leave that up to somebody else. There's been studies that have shown, and it kind of goes all over the map, So I apologize, but it's still shocking that 1/3 in some studies, 1 in every 2 patients, or 80% of patients that go and see a doctor in some studies have shown that the doctors have said the patient that was there in their care was only there because they've talked themselves into being there. They couldn't actually pinpoint exactly the illness, the disease that they were carrying. So they said the answer to that is that now, of course, this was all NDAs and stuff like that because of insurance companies and how much conflict there is nowadays with our healthcare industry. They usually provide some type of help, but in their professional opinion, under the oath that they took, even 1/3 of patients coming in have talked themselves into it. You need to monitor yourself. This is all part of critical thinking. And my only suggestion to you, I have many more health videos, but if you're ever going to give something a try, you can't try it for a day or a week. Everything you want to give a go in health and in your areas that go with your body, 30, 60, 90 days minimum is what you need to give it a try, give it a go. And that's what this life is for. It's not always doom and gloom. It's how can I get better? What if I could get way past all of these pains that I've had in my body? I remember reading a book, 3 Weeks to a Better Back. It's true. 3 weeks with different examples in the book of people healing their back through 3 main areas: diet, their stress levels, and obviously physical activity. But diet and stress levels cause people to have back pains. And just through working that system that's laid out in the book, obviously, people were able to fix that. It's just amazing. My main point here is the critical thinking. Listen to your body, diagnose yourself, get opinions from other people, but diagnose yourself. There's about a half dozen things in every one of these categories that I talk about that can lead to 90% of your success. That'll put you in that 10% club that most people aren't a part of. So think for yourself and get a little creative with your questions. Take care.